I think that weddings are a very intricate part of or not newlyweds, but engaged couples. And a lot of times couples are rushing into actually planning the whole wedding process. And I think that one of the things that they should do is take their time. The more time you give yourself, the less stress. Of course, just like we're cramming for an exam, you spend so much time cramming for the exam and you're stressed, your stress levels are high, and you don't really focus as much as you should. A lot of the times we ask our couples to spend at least a year trying to plan it. Not necessarily because it takes a year to plan out. I think the biggest part of planning is finding your venue. With so many people, especially in the DC area, finding a venue can be very complex. But nevertheless, when you give yourself more time to actually plan your wedding, that means your stress levels are going to be decreased. You allow yourself time to actually think about what's going on. Outside of that, I really encourage my couples to be realistic when they are planning their wedding. And that can have a few key pieces on that. Realistic for the simple fact that, one, couples should never compete with each other. Most couples, when you're competing with your friends, you go to so many weddings and you're like, oh, I really love that. I like what my friend has done. I want to do that too. And then they try to make it into a competition to see who can outdo each other at their wedding. So I would urge couples to not do that. And have a realistic wedding that it's going to really focus on what your personality is for the bride and the groom, and then bring in factors and elements that are really going to portray that personality to your guests. Pinterest and other things that are on social media can really be a hindrance to couples. As much as we love inspirations from Pinterest and things like that, most times when you see something on Pinterest, you don't know the price value that wedding is. So I could see something on Pinterest and it cost me $100,000 to actually produce that reception. Not all couples have $100,000 to put just for a reception. So when you're looking at Pinterest, it's really important to focus on the key elements that you're seeing in that, and ask yourself, why is it that I like this image from Pinterest? Or what can I pull from this image to actually make it into my own? So that's really important, when you're dealing with weddings. Another thing that I would encourage couples to do when they're planning their wedding is to really focus on why they're getting married. A lot of times I ask that question, and it is some people think it's an ironic question. And they say, well, we're getting married because we've been together. He asked me to marry him, so why not? But when you're going through the planning process, a lot of couples forget those things. I've been with this person for 10 years. I'm madly in love with them. She makes me laugh by doing this, or he does this for me, and these are the reasons why I want to marry them. But they forget about that because they're so busy being stressed, planning and doing this and making decisions that the whole reason why they're getting married in the first place is lost. So when you're doing your wedding planning, make sure you guys always remember, write each other's love letters and let that person know why you're doing this. So that way you can remember that, go back to it, read that letter or read whatever promise the person gave you and understand that is the reason for actually planning your wedding. Another thing is, whenever you're planning your wedding, you should always start off with some type of inspiration. Never start planning a wedding and have no idea what your colors are or what theme that you would have if you chose a theme. And it also helps your wedding planner because we as planners would never really know where to start. We can't give you a design budget. We can't give you any type of design if we don't know what is pulling from you that really sparks your attention when you're planning your wedding. So last thing I would say, when it comes to weddings is just always remember to be focused and understand, why it is that you guys are getting married. And I think once you have that and you remember those key elements, the whole wedding planning process, will really, really work its way out. We are built on relationships. So that's how we tell our stories through our relationships. So anytime someone approaches us for a wedding, we literally analyze who they are as a person or as a couple and try to understand what makes them tick. Based off of that, that's how we pretty much cater to them. And it's the idea of telling a story, telling the couple's story through everything we do, through the designs, through guest relations, the guest experiences, all the way to the end of their wedding. And the end of the wedding is not just the farewell. It's what happens after that we also help them with and assist them with, and making sure, again, the whole story that we talk to in the consultation phase, that story is brought to life as we go from step to step to step. And a lot of times, we get couples that are shopping around, and it's great to shop around. However, when you shop around, they forget to try to find a planner that is going to connect with them. It's just like if you go through this whole friendship deal, you figure out who is your best friend. Not everybody can be your best friend, and not everybody can be your wedding planner. So when you're picking a wedding planner, it's really important to have a connection with them, because most couples will spend a year or more planning their weddings. You don't want to spend that much time planning your wedding with somebody who doesn't return your calls, who is horrible at emails, horrible at follow-ups, and those are the things that you could weed out, as you get to know them. Ask them those tough questions. And sometimes people say, okay, I really love this wedding planner because they did this and such planning for this person and that person, but they don't understand the relationships between that planner and the person that they, did their wedding for. So it's really important to not just focus on what you see. Websites can be amazing. Wedding planners can provide amazing packages and give you a long list of details that they can offer. But if you're not talking to them and not socializing with them and understanding their personality, all of that stuff will not even matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to be upset, you're going to be pissed off, your stress levels are going to be increased because you're not getting along with your wedding planner. And the last thing that you want to do is have to fire a wedding planner just to find somebody else that you can actually work with. So us as event planners, that's what we offer to our client. That's what sets us apart from a lot of event planners, is that we focus on telling the story of our couples and making sure that they enjoy that whole story from the start, from when they, contact us until well after their wedding. So that is why I would say hire us. And that's why, we tell our couples all the time that personality and storytelling is our prized possession. Yeah.